moving from labor to favor. Now, Tuesday night, we talked about incredible expectation. That is a must-see. You need to get that and release that into somebody's life. That was definitely direct from the Holy Ghost. God released that word on Tuesday night. I encourage you to make that a part of not just your library, but you need to deposit that word in your spirit, in your heart, and allow incredible expectation to arise on the inside of you. So when we look at kingdom provision and we talk about moving from labor to favor, we're going to start out where we left off with kingdom expectation. When you deal with expectation, you're talking about an anticipation, a probability or a hope, something that has arisen in my mind or my heart that I'm expecting to happen, and I'm excited about it because I believe that it will come to pass. So I am at a posture of anticipating with confidence. In other words, I'm confident that the thing that I'm believing God for will in fact become a manifestation and a reality in my life. An expectation is a mental picture then of my future. I realize that there are three compartments in my life that I can release energy in. That's in my past, my present, or my future. And faith doesn't work in my past. And faith only operates in my future. So I'm going to use my energy to move from my now into the things that shall be, or the things that shall shortly come to pass in my life. So when I'm dealing with expectation, I'm dealing with kingdom provision, I operate out of that which is seeable. In other words, I've got to be able to see something. I've got to learn how to operate now in the dynamics that God released to me in my imagination. There's a faculty in my soul that deals with an ability to be creative. Yeah. My ability to create. My ability to call those things out of an invisible place into a visible manifestation. To bring that from the abstract into the concrete. That's a part of godness about me. My creativity is a godlike quality or a godlike character that I possess. It's innate. It's already on the inside of me. I don't have to acquire it. It came with the package. Right. Now, when I became born again, I took on that nature that I had with him before sin. Before the fall, when I became born again, I was restored, renewed, and put back in a place and posture that I had with God before the foundation of the world. So I operate in that which is seeable, which moves me then when I can see it, I can believe. It becomes believable or believable when I can see, even if it's in the canvas of my imagination. The moment that I can see it, the fact that I can see it means that it already exists in the invisible realm. And my faith, because of my unpredictable faith, I have the power, the ability, the vehicle to make an extraction or bring a transportation to those things that I cannot see and make them visible manifestations in my life. So whatever is seeable and believable becomes achievable. So when I can see it and believe it, I can achieve it. We talk about the woman who had an issue of blood. There was any unlikely probability that she would have been in the crowd that day, or unlikely probability that she would have had an opportunity to be touched by Jesus, because the fact that she had an issue meant she was unclean, meant that she was not allowed to be with the crowd, and especially not allowed to touch a rabbi, a priest, or a holy man. But when you have unpredictable faith, when you have an unpredictable expectation, she moved, or she pressed, the Bible said, through the crowd that was thronging him and trying to get to him. But because of her faith being unpredictable, she was able to move beyond other people's expectation in an unpredictable expectation, so that when she touched his garment, he stopped. So instead of him coming to her to bring her healing, she went to him and left with something that she didn't have. We're talking about unpredictable. It was very unlikely that she would have gotten her healing, because she would not have been allowed to touch the priest. But she was able, because of unpredictable expectation. She expected, the Bible said, to receive. She expected, that's what the word said, she expected to receive. So she reached out and touched. She didn't want to talk to him. She didn't need a prophetic word, but she expected that whatever was in him was also on him. And if she could touch what was on him, that she could get it on her. And she was able to see herself healed, believe that it would happen, and of course she achieved healing, because the Bible said her issue stopped. And not only did her issue stop, but then he told her to be completely made whole from all of the things that went along with her issue. All of the rejection, all of the pain, all of the loneliness, all of the hurt. See, there's something about unpredictable faith and expectation that will cause God to do exceedingly abundantly above all you ask of Him. All she wanted was her issue to stop, but she left being made whole. There was a man who sat at a pool for 38 years, and we know the predictability of the situation that once a year an angel would come down and trouble the water. One angel, one pool, and only one man could get a miracle once a year. But when you're dealing with unpredictable expectation, Jesus interrupted the predictability of the situation. When Jesus shows up, things become very unpredictable. If you're going through a season of uncertainty and you're starting to feel a little insecure and like things are not the way they usually are at this time, then you have to know that Jesus must be somewhere close by, because he interrupted the predictability of the situation. And listen, he only addressed one man. He's still dealing with one, but he moved it from predictability to unpredictability. And he said, sir, would you be made whole? There were other sick people there. There were other men there who need a miracle, because they brought the sick, the lame, the impotent to the pool to have that once a year move by the angel. But Jesus shows up and he dealt with one man. Why did he deal with that one man? Because there was something in that man's expectation that drew Jesus to him. When Jesus said, would you be made whole, he began to explain the status quo and what usually happened, because he knew he hadn't seen Jesus at the pool before. And he said, well, maybe he doesn't understand how this works. Let me explain to him that you have to sit here until once a year when the angel comes, and when the angel troubles the water, whoever gets in first is the one that gets the miracle. So since it's not the season, it's not the time, and you're not the angel, how can you be offering me something that I can only expect in that season? But Jesus has the ability, when he shows up in your life, to move out of season. He'll move out of predictability. He'll move apart from the status quo. It was very unlikely, as it had been proven for 38 years, that the man would be the one to get to miracle. But the unpredictable expector showed up, and he says, will you be made whole? And instead of putting the man in a pool, he changed his whole life, because he told him to just stand up and take up your bed and walk. He didn't bother to prophesy to him. He didn't bother to lay hands on him. He